podcast. This is my brother Gary. I'm CJ. And on this podcast, we'll be going over tips and tricks for archery, some of our outdoor adventures, along with new gear, products we use, products we'll recommend, and mostly our general opinions on things.
Which are many.
Oh, tons.
Yeah, because we have an opinion on everything.
Anything that's not lacking, it's opinions.
Correct.
On stuff. Right?
Yeah. We've
so
got
with
that 100% licked.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll dive right in. We'll start out with the new 2020 bows that just came out from all the mainstream bow companies.
It's 2022, brother.
Oh, 2022. Very good. See, I'm already a couple years behind.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really, we probably won't touch base much on like Martins and stuff like that, as they're not available to us in Canada, really.
Yeah, not really. Even like the Daytons, they're just, you can get them, you can find them, but
but they're hard.
Just not everywhere.
I mean, the biggest, I would say Mathews is probably one of the most popular bows around here in southwestern Ontario. And then I guess PSEs and Hoyts would be a close.
Yeah, well, Hoyt seems to kind of be a bit of everywhere. PSE does too, because they have such a far-ranging scale of bows that they offer.
Yeah. Mathews really does seem to be the dominant choice for people though around here.
It's very popular.
Especially if they're doing like a higher end bow.
Yeah.
They usually kind of tend to gravitate towards
It is definitely
Mathews.
A brand I'd like to give a go. I mean, I haven't even really shot one.
Yeah, I mean, I had that one Z2, and it was a good bow. Yeah. Obviously, older. The technology's come vastly superior now compared to those days. But
I like the Z7s, Z7, whatever.
Yeah, roughly the same time era as my Z2.
It's very short, though.
Personally, I'm a kind of a Hoyt PSE man. That's kind of where I sit.
Yeah.
You know,
nothing wrong with that.
You as well. You're probably you're a little bit more of the Hoyt guy.
Yeah, I'm definitely digging the Hoyt for sure.
Yeah, because I mean that's all you have right now, right? You have
currently, yeah. I got a Ringtech XL and then the Defiant, the Carbon
Defiant. Your Ringtech you just use for like practice, basically.
Just for practice, just for playing around. It's only 45 pounds,
which is perfect for practice.
Yeah, it's just for keeping form, you know.
Yeah.
Keep the shot
Keep the muscle memory
good. You got to be smooth.
Yeah, and I'm currently shooting a Ventum Pro 30 and a PSE Evo NTN. Yeah. Your main bow is a carbon.
Yeah, a carbon
Defiant, right? Yeah, carbon. That's 31-inch axle to axle?
31, yeah. I would like to move into something a little longer.
I do enjoy that Evo.
Your 33?
33-inch axle to axle. It does... it kind of just makes it sit still. Like there's I find there's a lot less movement because there's a little bit extra weight too. I think probably helps, right? Yeah,
I'm so torn because I'm considering that Diamond Medalist or the Prime Synergy, and it's like the Medalist is a bit longer. That's 38.
Yeah,
but it's bright white.
Yeah,
which is awesome. And it's got good reviews. There's really nothing where anybody's like, no, this is garbage. But there's nothing where anybody's like, it's amazing.
It's just kind of
put the right gear on it and it'll be a good bow.
Just a solid performer.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. And the Synergy's the same way.
Yeah.
A bit shorter at 35, but it's got a much nicer brace height. So
7 inches?
7.25.
Oh, perfect. Very forgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, sorry. That's backwards. It's 6.25 for the Synergy and 7.25 on the Medalist.
Still not bad.
No, it's not terrible.
My Ventum is a 6-inch brace height.
Yeah.
A lot of companies are going to a shorter, like six and a quarter brace height, right?
Yeah.
I guess we'll dive right in now. We'll start with the like some of the new lineups here. Mathews with their V3X. Have you looked at it much?
Very nice looking bow.
It's pretty sharp looking. Real tall riser.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of riser. Apparently the riser is, I haven't shot one yet, but the riser is almost the same length as the axles. Like it kind of matches up in line.
I always find that Mathews has very interesting profile shapes.
They do, yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like you look at that Z7. I mean, that thing was like a bat wing.
The way the cutouts are.
Yeah.
The riser and stuff.
And it just so very extreme angles with the riser, right? Instead, or they're on the flip side where they're almost like some of the Martins that are just straight up.
Straight up. Yeah. So that the V3X comes in, I think it's a 29 and a 33 inch, which is different than their last year, because last year they did like they were both short, weren't they? 27 and 29 inch.
29, I think, yeah.
Which I think it's probably better that they went back to a little bit longer bow.
Yeah, I do too.
27 inches is almost
that's
short.
a tiny bow, man.
It's tight.
Like, right? I know there's a lot of tree stand guys and everything that'll be like, "Oh, it's the only way. It's so small, it's so convertible, it's so nice." Yeah, but really, I mean, come on.
In my opinion,
man, 31. There's no problem to swing that around a tree.
If you're 33 inches or under, you're good.
Yeah.
I think that, I mean, 30 inches is probably a little bit nicer for a tree stand than 33.
Yeah, it would be.
But, I mean, it's only 2 inches, 3 inches. You know what I mean?
Some people, brother, that's a lot.
That's a lot, yeah. That's a good point. Yeah. So, I mean, at first glance, it's a great looking bow. It comes in all kinds of different camos and all that stuff, real tree and the drab green that we seem to prefer on almost everything so much.
Yeah, pretty much anything we can get our hands on, yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously it comes in like the Sitka colors, the subalpine and elevate. But yeah, it's a sharp looking bow. It's pretty fast too. I think it's, what is it? 336 for the 33 inch feet per second. And the 29 is 340 feet per second, which that's pretty quick. I'd be curious to see what they actually shoot though, because you know how they always seem to be a bit high on their ATAs and their feet per second
big
stuff.
Time.
It's kind of like the weights of bows.
That I'm really liking, and it's quite simple. It's nothing crazy. The new Eclipse, man, from Hoyt.
That's cool, right?
Like it's a pretty basic design.
Yeah.
But I don't know, something about it. It just looks super clean. But now it's got limbs a lot like this Defiant.
It does,
go very much beyond parallel.
Yeah. Yeah, they dip in a lot. Right?
Yeah. Like when I get my press, I almost want to see if I can find some Hoyt branded them forks.
Oh, I know what you're saying, yeah.
Just so that way I know, like, if they got their name on it, it works on a Hoyt bow.
Right. Yeah.
Because, I mean, man, when we put that in your press, whoo, that was scary.
It was dodgy, yeah. You got to have those past parallel adapters, otherwise it's... No, I just have the fingers. The past parallel adapters are like blocks.
Yeah.
They're designed for Hoyts. I'll tell you what is Mathews has a real cool feature on their bows. On the exterior of their limbs, they have just a little piece of metal with a notch cut out in it for those fingers to sit in,
lock right in
on the press, so that when you press that bow, you're very confident in the fact that it's not going anywhere because they're actually inside the grooves.
Yeah.
And for that little piece of metal, man, I think everybody should do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It just makes you feel the peace of mind when it's in the pressure. Like, oh, it's staying there.
Like you're not gaining that much weight.
No, it's not even enough to talk about. And if you wanted to save weight, don't build them out of metal, build them out of carbon.
Yeah.
If you make them carbon fiber, they'll be fine.
Absolutely.
So
I don't know if it's how easy it would be to get, but the Eclipse in white. I'm looking at a picture on Google right now.
Yeah.
It in white is fabuloso.
It's a good looking bow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at it on their website right now in that Kuyu camo that I like a lot. The 2.0.
Yeah, there it is in white.
It's real cool.
Damn.
Comes subalpine too. Anyway, it's a nice bow. What is it? Grace height 6.
What's that?
3/4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Slow though, 314 feet per second.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's light. It's only 3.7 pounds.
But then, of course, you got the RX-7.
Oh,
That
yeah.
bleeding thing.
Do you see that? It's
I mean, come on.
3.9 pounds, 6 1/4 inch brace height, 30-inch axle to axle with a 342 feet per second.
Like that thing
Which is it's
so nice.
real nice. And I really do like the drop down stabilizer.
Yeah.
On the Hoyts, where it's the lower center of gravity.
Yeah.
And that new HBX Pro cam system is awesome.
I want it in buckskin.
Do you like buckskin?
Oh.
It is nice, yeah.
Some nice.
The green is good too. The wilderness
Yeah, oh yeah.
green.
Yeah, that drab is awesome. And it looks really nice black even.
Yep. The Kuyu is cool on it too, though.
Then there's the Keep Hammering edition, which is buckskin again. Just with
Subalpines.
Just with a better string.
And black limbs.
Right.
Yeah. The Subalpine is pretty cool, eh? Different.
Optifade?
Second
one?
See. Yeah, Gore Optifade.
Yeah,
Subalpine.
that's pretty cool. It'd be good
I
in
like
the
that
woods
one.
for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And then that one's like, that's their 2000.
Oh, yeah, that's their big
$2,300 bow.
Yeah, yeah.
And then their Ventum Pro 30.
Which is
all the same colors.
Super nice.
Oh, yeah. All the same
Super
colors.
nice.
The only difference is the weight is a bit more at 4.5
4.7.
pounds. You're on the Ultra.
Ventum Pro 33.
Yeah, that's the Ultra. The 30 is a bit lighter.
Oh.
But I like the 33 too. I'd like to try that out. And then,
try a longer bow, man.
yeah, they're
All
cool.
of them I've tried have been short.
Yeah. 6-inch brace height for the Ventum. And then the speeds are all the same and all that stuff. Just a much lower sticker price.
Buckskin looks some good on that too.
Yeah. Is about $650 cheaper. If I recall. Which is a lot, man, when you really think about like, how much is it worth to you to have a carbon bow to save, what was it, 6 ounces? 3.9 versus 4.5? If you were saving a pound, man, like, maybe you could make the argument for it. But $700
pound,
is
sure.
$700 is a lot of money to go
Yeah.
for a bow that's basically identical, but one's aluminum.
So if I could go buy a brand new one, then I would think of like for a longer braid, like axle to axle.
Yeah.
The have you seen which one is it called again? The Highline.
I have seen the Highline.
Very
cool.
vertical.
Where is it? Oh, right there.
345 feet per second, 36.5 inches axle to axle with 7 7/8 brace height.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
4.9 pounds.
Yeah.
Heavy bow.
Big bow, yeah. But it's 37 inches long, too.
Yeah. It's very similar to a Ventum, but more straight up and down.
Yeah, a lot
on
more
the riser,
vertical.
right? Yeah. And then I guess, other
that
than
retails for.
it's
Because I haven't seen one.
On their website is $1,400, but that's American.
That's
obviously.
American, so that's a $2,100 bow.
So Canadian, that would be. Let me see what the Ventum is. The Ventum's $100 cheaper, and I think my Ventum was $1,600. So that's probably a $1,700 or $1,800 bow for the Highline.
Maybe if I get a big job come up.
Yeah.
Like a big one.
I guess the only one left to cover now are the new PSEs.
Yeah. Well, we might as well get the one out of the way that everybody talks about. Levitate.
The Levitate, yeah.
That seems to be everybody's Tra-la-la this year.
At 3.6 pounds.
Yeah.
90% let off. And 32 and a quarter inch axle to axle and 6-inch brace height.
Yeah.
It is a pretty sweet looking bow.
Oh, yeah.
It's super light. If I were going to buy a carbon bow and spend that kind of money on it, it would probably be that bow.
Yeah.
It is a bit aggressive. I have shot one.
But I do remember watching the clip of you, and it was very like, wham, you're in the valley.
It dumps off pretty fast. However, that was the E2 cam, and I would probably shoot the S2 cam, which is the shorter version, because the lowest setting on the E2 cam is 27.5 inches.
Right.
Which is what I shoot my Hoyt at right now.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to be at the bottom of the cam because you're losing so much speed.
Yeah.
So the S2 cam goes from 25 to 29. So I would be kind of like right in the middle of that cam. So I would probably go with S2. If I were to get it, I would get it in the drab green with the subalpine limbs.
Right.
But basically the knock-on edition.
Yeah.
Colors, right? What do you think of it?
I do like it very much. Again, I do have concerns about, it's super light, man.
It's real light.
So, and especially with the short brace height for anybody who is beginner to intermediate who has the funds available to buy such a bow, because there's lots of those people out there. They got more money than
for sure. Yeah.
I wish I was one.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna just be slapping them out of the box.
No.
That bow is going to take a lot to get accustomed to, unless you are already a very seasoned archer.
Yeah. I think you're right. I don't think it's a very forgiving bow. I know Dudley says it's pretty forgiving, but forgiving for Dudley.
Yeah.
Who's arguably
the best.
Probably the best archer. I mean, I guess there's guys that you don't think. There's guys not as popular as him that are probably better.
Yeah, but
he's the most mainstream guy.
He's the best well known.
Yeah, and people like to hate him because he's mainstream, like he is.
Yeah. He's popular.
I never understood that with that whole, like it's almost like you're not supposed to be popular as an archer.
Yeah, it's just because they can't do it.
You know what I mean? Like, it's funny.
See, now, if I was going to buy a new PSE bow, it wouldn't be a Levitate.
You'd go for that new Evo XF, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. 33-inch XF in tan. Oh, my.
It's real nice.
Oh, my. Oh, my.
Again, comes with the same cams.
Yeah.
As the Levitate. So you get the S2 or the E2. It's a real nice bow.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Gorgeous, man.
345 feet per second on the 30-inch and 340 on the 33, which is pretty sweet. Oh, they have different brace heights too, hey? Did you notice that?
I did not.
This is actually pretty interesting that I didn't notice before, but I'm looking at it here now.
Specs.
You can get, on the Evo XF, you can get the E2 cam, the S2 cam, or you can go back to the EC cam, which is the original.
Are you seeing this on the website? Because I don't see that shit, and I'm on the website right now.
I'm on their PSE website.
So am I.
Looking at the Evo XF 33.
Yeah, me too.
If you go under brace
colors.
Oh no, I went to. You have to go to 2002 hunting bows, and it'll give you all the Evos.
2002, huh?
Yeah. 2022. Jesus. I'm going to keep doing that.
Evo hunting bows.
Yeah. If you look at it, so I think I would get it with the old Evo cans.
Evo XF33. Oh yeah, 7 1/8.
I mean, that Evo I have now runs those cams, and they're probably the smoothest cams
Yeah, and it's still
of anyone I've shot.
334.
Yeah, which is super fast. Just lots of fast. You're not going to get that speed out of it anyway at our draw
not
lenses.
once you put everything on it.
I tend not to worry too much about like speed and stuff because
No, I don't either.
where I have to adjust everything down so much,
Yeah.
you lose. I know that's kind of counterproductive. You should be going for the speed bow because then you're losing less as you come in. But I think if you're shooting over 270,
You're happy.
you're probably okay.
You're
I don't
doing it
think
for
it's that
hunting.
big
That
of a
means you're killing whatever you're shooting at. So.
Well, I mean, there's a big argument to be made that kinetic energy is far more important than speed anyway.
Yeah.
You know, I would shoot a heavier arrow than I would worry about how fast the bow is. Right?
Yeah,
Like,
well, there's a border on that too, right? Because then all of a
sure.
sudden, is the bow fast enough to shoot that arrow?
Of course, yeah.
There's always that teetering point, right? And that's I'd say that's what draws me to archery the most, because I know that I can change so many different things, but I can only change it so much before it affects this thing.
Right.
And then if I can't tune that with that, then it's going to affect that thing. Right? So you really have to be
Yeah. And you have to do things in steps.
Yes, there's a process always.
You can't jump ahead, because if you do, you're like, oh, now I have to do this, but now as soon as you do this, it changes that.
Yeah.
On the other end of things, right? So you have to get everything in time, get everything lined up, get everything level, all that stuff. And then you start working on sighting it in. Then you start working on, you have to paper tune it too after that. And then.
Yeah, that's something we got to get into.
Yeah, I've got that Hoyt pretty much. I'm getting dialed in there now, and then I have to paper tune it to see if I'm kicking it one way or another. You can bare shaft tune too and try that.
Yeah.
With, you'll know if it's stuck in the target on an angle or whatever that it's not working out. But yeah, I think that Evo would suit you real well.
Yeah.
It's light too, 4.5 pounds.
Yeah, I mean, you dress up at 6'2".
Yeah. For sure. I'd say my Hoyt is at 6'5" now.
I'd actually be curious to weigh the Defiant. I want an aluminum
pretty
Defiant
light, I think.
so bad.
That's pretty cool. I know. Remember that one they had in the in that shop that we were looking at? It's a real nice bow. Speaking of shops, that's a good time to segue off of new bows and into a little bit of advice on you gotta find a good bow tech.
Yeah.
If you don't, find a guy that you trust and knows what he's doing. And by knows what he's doing, I don't mean tells you what you want. You should be able to speak freely with him and tell him what you want on your setup.
Yeah. You need to know what you want to do with the bow.
Right.
If he can't sit down and take the time to listen,
then,
or she, to listen to what you want to do with the bow, and how you want to use it, and what kind of results you want to get, they're not going to set it up what's going to be conducive for you, and you're going to get frustrated.
Right. And for sure, you have to listen to an extent on like how to get your peep set up and all that stuff. They'll walk you through it. Close your eyes, pull your bow back, move things around, do whatever. However, once you get through all that nonsense and all that stuff, if you say, we'll take D-loop material, something as small as that, for example. Some guys like the more flexible, looser stuff. Some guys like the stuff in the middle. Some guys like the real stiff, thicker material.
I likes it thick,
I like the stuff right in the middle.
Non-committal. Sounds like you.
But you'll get a lot of guys that'll say, no, you need to use this or you need to use that.
Yeah.
You don't need to use anything. You need to use whatever you like shooting.
Yeah. You need to try.
That's when it comes down to. Yeah. I've changed a dozen things.
Oh my God.
I've used, It's fun. You can change it out. It's easy to do. You can watch a couple videos at home and put on your own D loops and stuff like that. You don't need to.
Absolutely.
You know,
that's the other
it's
big
pretty
thing
simple.
is educate yourself.
If you can tune your own stuff, do it.
Yeah, 100%. Fleshing arrows. If you can do it,
Yep.
do it. It's not hard. You just got to try. Watch a few videos and go to a local range, indoor, outdoor, whatever, preferably if it's not attached to a shop.
Yeah.
If you can find
For
a
sure.
local place, I mean, there's local ones around. Some of the indoor ones, you can get a membership for $60 a year.
Yeah.
Go in,
That's
talk
not
to the
bad,
guys
actually.
who are there all the time. They're going to
They'll give you
either
lots of
know
pointers.
a guy who tunes stuff, or they're going to be like, well, you know, I got a press. I could do that for you. Or they'll show you how, whatever.
Yeah.
But get out there and talk to the people that are doing the sport. They're the ones who are going to know much better than the guy who just sits in the store and just does it so he can get paid.
For sure. And you don't necessarily need a press for everything.
For most things, you
And
don't.
For most things you can do, you know, on your
Just
own
with a
without
vice.
that. Yeah. The only thing a press helps in is like putting a peep in it's a lot easier if you can press the bow. It just takes the tension out of the string.
Yeah.
But tying your D loops and all that stuff, you can do that without any of that stuff.
Yeah.
No problem. Yeah.
I mean, well, I got that nice little clamp on one that goes onto the table there for, what was it,
Yeah.
29
Oh, the vice,
bucks?
yeah.
Yeah. They're great.
Perfect. Yeah. So you can level your own rests with that, level your sight, do your third axis, do your second axis, all that stuff can be done just as long as you got a vice that you can sit everything level with.
Exactly.
That's it. That's all you need.
Ooh.
And then basically find out what release works for you.
That's the tricky part because they're so really expensive.
Yeah, it's hard to buy a lot of releases. Like
That was a good place to buy a release.
I do know a good place to buy releases.
Yes,
It's
man.
risearchery.ca.
Yes.
It's
That's
a
a
wonderful
family.
place, and they're a lot cheaper than all those bigger guys.
Tell you
We're
this.
going to pay $350 for it. There you go. Beauty.
Right there. That's what you find. That's the thumb release there from Rise
Works like a
Archery
charm.
in a beautiful electric blue. Do love it.
That's probably the best one, I think.
I really do like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually quite surprising. I can, if you operate it a lot like a hinge release, it works very, very well. Quite impressed with it, actually.
Yeah. I got
For
a
the
funny
price
feeling
point.
you're moving to a hinge release pretty soon.
I could see that coming. Yeah. Basically, as soon as I can come across one that fits nice in my hand and fits nice in the wallet,
Yeah.
I really want to try the B3 Ghost.
That is a nice looking release.
Yeah, it's nice and small, so it's made for a good smaller hand, which I have.
That's a big thing.
And it's got a
That-
textured grip.
Yeah. That's something we should actually touch on just before we move on any farther is how big your hand is
A huge factor.
for the release is a big factor.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be splayed out like that. Like everything should be in a decently
Fairly
neat and tidy
natural
package.
position.
You know what I mean? Yeah, it should feel exactly natural to you.
Yeah.
You shouldn't feel stretched out or anything like that. Like it should be reasonable, comfortable, and you should be able to
Well,
find your anchor real easy.
Think about it like a gun,
Yeah.
right? When you hold a gun, your bottom three fingers, they're pretty much right underneath your index finger.
Yeah.
You're looking for
Exactly.
that same kind of thing. The only difference with with a release like this as opposed to a trigger is you want to be one knuckle set back
Yeah, exactly.
as opposed to
You
being
don't-
on the primary set.
Yeah. You don't want to be on the palm of your finger.
You don't want to be on the
second one, right?
pads.
Yeah.
Slip off.
But I would recommend a wrist release for anybody starting out.
Absolutely.
I think it takes away
Absolutely.
the worry of holding a release in your hand. I mean, you could use the strap too.
You can.
With the thumb release, like
Yeah.
so it wraps around your hand. But the wrist release just allow you to pull straighter with your whole arm, and then you can keep your finger behind that trigger until you're ready to shoot. Once you feel right, you can just put your finger on that trigger and let it fall.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it, right?
I got mine set pretty hot now.
pretty light.
Pretty hot, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you touch it, it's
Yeah.
like, ow! Because he gone.
Yeah.
Hot. Smoking.
I like, where I shoot that thumb release, I like a little bit of a heavier trigger.
Yeah. Oh,
I do
yeah,
like
that's
to
like
feel
this
like
one.
that I can
I got him
wrap
set
around.
pretty thick.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we remember doubled up the springs.
Double up the spring, yeah, for sure.
For those of you who like a firm grip.
Yeah, and some guys like that
Yeah.
light, very gentle, because a lot of guys have target panic, right?
Yeah.
Where they get on that target and they wait and wait, and they can't get it to go off, right?
Yeah. Well,
Just
that's
gotta
why
keep pulling.
that's another reason why I want to get into the tension release or the hinge release.
Right.
Especially with the clicker.
Right.
Because then as I'm going through my process and I'm like, okay, I'm really close now. So I can kind of settle.
Because it gives you an audible.
Yeah. There's
right,
just that little tiny tick. And then you're like, okay, now if I go any further, this baby's gone.
It's off. Yeah. That is actually a nice feature to have.
Yeah. And you can turn it off.
Audible noise.
You can turn it off.
Right.
You just turn the lobe over. Just turn it 180 degrees and it won't click anymore.
So in a hunting situation, you can not that.
Yeah,
click
most
make
people
that much of a
don't
difference.
use. Most people
Hinges
don't
on.
use a hinge release hunting.
I think the majority of people use a wrist when they hunt.
Probably.
Yeah.
Depends, right? Like if I was hunting from a blind where I'm like sitting in it,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed to a thumb release.
No, I wouldn't. I'm probably going to hunt with a thumb release only.
Yeah.
That would be my guess. But I mean, a lot of guys you see on like YouTube and stuff like that,
They
they run a wrist release. Yeah, for sure.
Well, it's just
Cam Haynes shoots a wrist release all the time.
Yeah.
It's all he shoots.
It's just that little bit safer. You got your
Very
gloves on, right? Not all gloves are as grippy as others.
True.
I mean, I remember we went to that one tournament and we seen that one fella who drive back and release took off right out of his hand.
Oh, yeah.
Smashed up the bow and everything.
Yeah, not good.
No. Right?
And
so if you're in a hunting situation where your heart's going a million miles
you're
an hour.
not thinking. Yeah. And lucky that it hit the riser and didn't pass all the way through and hit the sight and demolish your sight, right?
Yeah.
Or your rest or whatever. So, and you're talking
moolah.
So, but on that note, I guess we'll call it a show.
We'll call it a show.
Yeah.
Buck.
Thanks for joining us, folks.
Yeah, on our brand new show.
Yeah.
We'll keep this going.
For sure.
Absolutely. We're going to have lots of hunting coming up. We're going to have lots of gear that we're buying. Turkey season is literally like around the corner.
Yeah. So that'll be our next episode will be about what we're going to run for turkey season.
Yeah.
And then
so
we'll
we
talk
got
a little bit.
And we're going to talk some calls. And we're going to talk what we're running for broadheads. Yeah. We got lots to go over, folks. So definitely tune in.
And we'll probably dabble into a little bit of our planned trip to one of the TAC tournament or the Total Archery Challenge tournaments in either Vermont or Michigan. Probably Michigan, but we'll see.
Yeah,
who knows? Maybe if we have time, maybe we'll do both.
Yeah, you never know.
So, all right, folks. Good night.
Love you.